That's right. Happy Friday, Denver. Thank you for joining us. So happy to have everybody in here. We got big news this week. We got major momentum, and it's definitely in part to the epic music that brings us in every single week here on Happy Friday, Denver, brought to you by the Fricashinas. We love that band. We go support them all the time. Major momentum, major moves. Keep it up, Fricashinas. We love what you do. We are brought to you by Mile High Life, and Mile High Life is an amazing local Denver podcast network. Features some of the best stuff from culinary to comedy to movie reviews to Happy Friday Denver, of course. So many great podcasts on that network, and we are so happy to be a part of what happens there. I am your MC on this episode. My name is Arthur Raw, and damn it, I feel good today. And I am with two of my very best people that I'm just like, we creators, and we do create. To my left, I got High Rev Kev Batstone.
Happy Friday, Denver. And when you're banging down Broadway, take a look at that billboard. We appreciate you joining us.
Ooh, baby, let's bring in that basted bacon with the Batstone. And then we also, across the table, I got my man, Jon, the Revolution Ekstrom.
It's hot in here, baby. It's summer, finally. We're having a great time. It's Friday. Friday's the best day of the week, and seriously, what else are you going to get done? Spend time with us. We got you covered. We got 10 awesome segments coming your way.
So much fun. We are your local Denver news-ish podcast, but if you're tuning in anywhere in the world, just have a good time with us. We want to have fun. We are Denver centralized, and we actually got a billboard off of Broadway in Denver. We did some promo with it today. So exciting. Jon, this was your child, so you should lead this.
So I believe in two things. One, the best genre of thing is things that are too stupid to exist. And that is having a billboard featuring a bunch of deer looking at a desktop computer, advertising a podcast above where you motor, right? Okay, that is too stupid to exist. I love that. And two, make bold choices and the universe will reward you for them. So if you're here because of this billboard, God bless you, because you know what? Our gambit paid off. And you can't say that for everything, right? And if you're here because you love us, go check out that billboard. It is ridiculous. You will have a great time with it. I'm thrilled that I get to do it with you guys, so thank you.
It's
so much fun.
Really surreal, man. When we pulled up there earlier today to do the reveal and go public with it, it's like, man, how cool is this? To have a billboard on Broadway. You got Herman's Hideaway right there. You got all these iconic businesses that have been there for a long time. Just a really, really cool thing, man. And I think it just kind of reiterates, how great Mile High Life is and how great our commitment is to this show, to Denver, and doing this podcast with you guys, man. It's truly living in a dream.
It's wild.
It is. And I feel like one of the main foundation thoughts that I've had throughout this entire process of doing Happy Friday Denver is creating a fun atmosphere, creating a way for us to escape the existential crises of life. Because the demon is always knocking at my door. I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah.
but he's always there. It's always there, whatever it is. And so that's what's really fun about this billboard is it's just a sliver of fun, something that's a little random and creates some questions. And this what we're about here at Happy Friday, it changes every single week, and we get into random side conversations.
Dude,
it's so much fun.
Our tastes are very, very strange here. So, like, you're going to find in these 10 segments, we're going to cover a lot of real estate here. But first, I think what we should pay heed to is that Denver has a new mayor.
Yes.
Mike Johnston won the runoff election against Kelly Brough, won by about 8 percentage points. Had the fundraising edge, earned a lot of progressive endorsements. Mike Johnston is someone I know personally. I also know Kelly Brough personally. Both terrific people. Both would have been great leaders. Johnston struck a very hopeful tone, a very optimistic tone in his acceptance speech. And one of the things that he said that I want to get your reaction on before we break this bit of news, I don't think I've heard this anywhere. This is really important, but this is Denver's second consecutive mayor named Michael. That's why you come to us, right? Because that's that type of hard-hitting journalism is what we're all about.
That's fun fact.
So second mayor in a row named Michael. But on a real note, he has actually pledged to end the chronic homelessness problem in his first term. That's 4 years.
Pretty bold.
That's really ambitious. And you know what? To me, and I don't mean to equate these two things because in no way am I doing that, but you take big swings, right? You advertise a podcast, you spend a pretty substantial chunk of change on just getting the word out through a billboard. Mm-hmm. But you tell people, you go, I'm going to end this chronic homelessness problem and make Denver the place we all want to see it be within 4 years. Shit, man. You know what? My hat is off to you. Big move. Mm-hmm. And I hope you're successful. I think we all hope you're successful.
I mean, you got to come out swinging. It's, the first new mayor Denver has seen in over 10 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
Yeah, over a decade. So it's always nice to get some new energy, right? It's always nice to get that new energy. So, I'm not super big into politics, just like I'm not super big into sports.
Right.
But I still hope the best for this
it's perfect when we go to sports next then.
Yes.
That'll be great. Like, we'll start the show on a high note for you as hosting, right?
Hey, as an MC, we will remain adaptable here. Kev, any thoughts on the new elect?
Yeah, I think it's great, man. I mean, it's time for change, obviously. And, we actually had some fun with one of the mayoral candidates on a Discussion Combustion episode back on 200.
Oh, that was cool.
She endorsed Mike.
Yeah, and Leslie Harrod definitely gave the endorsement. So, I think the big topics that everyone's been talking about in this city is, number one, affordable housing, because we've talked about these housing prices, and then obviously homeless. I think that is a big thing that needs to be tackled. So it's a tall task. I like the optimism, and I think this is a good change and a reset button for Denver.
Well, and one of the things that we don't do here, we're not doing political punditry, or this is, please don't turn here for your political news and opinions.
Not a good idea.
But CityCast Denver. And I would say 9 News with Kyle Clark did extensive interviews with both candidates. So we're always happy to point you in the right direction of stuff that we're reading. That's what we're all about, man. There's so many people doing awesome work here. Let's all raise each other up. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Well, as you say, John, a rising tide lifts all boats, right?
That's right.
And Denver, this is our community. This is our area. We got to care about what's going on.
Right.
We're all here to succeed. We don't want to see anyone fail. So we're full sending together.
Not many boats here, though.
Not many boats. No, you're right.
Yeah, and if they are, look, I'm a local. I grew up out here. My dad is a sailor. My grandfather was a sailor, so I am the son of a sailor. And there are reservoirs out here. We don't really have lakes. And that's just how it goes. It's the hard truth. You can still have a lot of fun out there, but
did you see Club Dread, by the way, the movie?
I feel like I did.
Okay, it was the one that came after Super Troopers.
I feel like I did.
Okay, yeah, it's a horror movie that takes place on Club Med. So you said son of a sailor.
Yeah, great song though.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, that's a Jimmy Buffett song, but the guy in Club Dread is Coconut Pete. And so everyone's like, play Margaritaville. And he goes, it's called Pina Coladaburg. and she goes, no, Margaritaville. He goes, no, that son of a bitch stole that song from me. So you said that's all I could think of.
That's hilarious. Well, there's a lot of people out there, and all they can think about is golf right now. And it's serious out there. Look, I've tried my swing at golf. I left the day with a horrible pain in my right forearm and the knowledge to realize that I should be shooting from the handicap shots.
Fair enough. So, big news this week. LIV Golf combined, which was an odd word choice with the PGA Tour. Didn't say they merged. It didn't say they were acquired. But LIV Golf was backed by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which is an organization accused of existing entirely to sports wash some of the many crimes, some of the many human rights violations that Saudi Arabia has committed.
Okay.
So they're involved in, say, English Premier League soccer. They're involved in Formula One racing. I think at a time they were involved with UFC. No, I'm mixing that up with something else. But so they recently merged with the PGA Tour. This after the PGA was on its high horse about we don't support this. Like, hey, if you were worried about 9/11, you shouldn't really support LIV Golf. And you go, holy fuck. Now they've gone to merging with LIV Golf, and it feels like everyone's eating a lot of shit over it, and rightfully so, because my God, the PGA put players like Rory McIlroy and Jon Rahm out front, and we're like, hey, defend the integrity of the PGA, which also has its own kind of checkered history in many ways. And those guys probably could have gone to LIV Golf for tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars more. And now it's like, oh, well, we're merging with them anyway. And it's like, man, those guys got fucked. This whole thing I find incredibly embarrassing. And it bears note that LIV Golf was a terrible, terrible product. So hopefully it goes away. And, I mean, money forgives all, so what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, money breeds money, right? And we see a lot of things collaborating, joining forces, what have you. I don't know if this is a good or a bad move for PGA. I really don't know what the ramifications are going to be as far as sponsorships.
It's hard to know, man, because like Saudi Arabia has like this bottomless pit of money, and the PGA like couldn't compete, but it wanted to keep its legacy brand going.
Mm-hmm.
So like on one level, I get it, but on another level, it's like it feels like you've been disingenuous this entire time.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I mean, I just think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, we're in heavy golf season here.
Mm-hmm.
Always makes me want to grab an Arnie Palmer when I watch golf.
Oh yeah,
or do golf. I'm not good at doing golf, John. I'm not the best.
Golf.
I can
God
do
damn
driving, but I'm not good at doing.
You can do driving?
I'm not good at doing irons.
You're not good at doing irons or doing putting?
Yeah, I'm not good at doing putting.
Do you know what the alcoholic version of the Arnold Palmer is?
Oh man, I feel like I should.
It's called a John Daly.
Oh, the John Daly.
Okay.
So it's an Arnold Palmer with vodka in it, and it's not bad.
Is that? Would you get one?
I've had them.
Yeah.
Before. It's not what I ultimately prefer to drink. Oddly enough, I like my Arnold Palmers alcohol-free.
I would agree with that. I think Arnie Palmers are refreshing. Like if I'm
They're
going to
great.
go, it's either a seltzer or an Arnie Palmer for me if I'm going non-alc.
It is delicious. It is delicious.
What's not to like, man?
Yeah, like how about you just put a little bit of Sprite in there, just a little bit of bubble.
Well, and how cool is it, like that you have this like awesome drink named after you? You're that cool a guy, and it's like, oh no, you combine lemonade and iced tea. That's definitely named after that guy. You go, what the fuck? What did he? Like Arnold Palmer is that cool that you get that drink named after you? Holy shit!
Was he really the one that was all like, all right, this
He's like,
drink,
let me blow your minds.
No one's put their name on this yet. He's like, look, I know other people have tried this, but until you've done the iced tea,
Maybe he was just highly
and
visible
lemonade.
drinking it.
Yeah.
Like all the time, and they're like, well, that's clearly it didn't have a name. Like if you go to the South, they call it half and half.
Yeah, that's true.
Which like, okay.
Yeah, and they ask
Are
you how
we
much
drinking
sugar you
coffee
want.
here? What's going on?
Yeah.
See, I don't like it
Coffee
too
cream.
sweet.
Yeah.
Coffee cream,
Ew,
crema.
the creamers are gross. All the flavored creamers and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like the flavored cream.
I can't get on that boat. As the son of a sailor, I'm not getting on that boat.
Well, the people who enjoy that might call you a son of a bitch.
And look, enjoy your French vanilla creamer and your coffee. All right.
I like the way it smells. I'm not going to drink it.
Yeah.
But like if you open it up, you go, oh, that's like birthday cake.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is delicious. And something else that is delicious is sopapillas. Okay, so we've been talking, Casa Bonita's the reopen, how epic all that was, and they're known for the sopapillas. So, with that being said, where are some of the best sopapillas in Denver and highest rated? And so we're going through this. John, the look on his face across the table, he knows I'm going to butcher all this shit.
We all know you're about
I was
to
thinking
butcher
to
it.
myself, why would Art write a segment with a bunch of shit that he can't pronounce?
Because it's fun. It's
Okay.
fun.
Fair enough.
And
Let's see how you do here.
I was looking for some backup, but I've been watching some videos online.
Well, you know what? And for anyone interested, I did get a 4 on the AP Spanish test senior year of high school. So that's, clearly I'm an authority here. Right?
Ooh, that's muy bien.
Very good, Kev. See what I did there?
I'm about to my pronunciation of all this is about to be malo, which is bad. Okay.
Here we go, folks.
So here we go. But look, if you like honey on the the flavorful sopapilla, there's some places. So I'm gonna go. Go down to the show notes, check out the full top 10 list. But I got the top 3 right here.
Okay.
And so the Corazon Mexican restaurant.
Di Corazon.
Corazon. And so that one was 4.6 stars, 1,870 reviews. So these are all 4.6 stars, but it goes down to the reviews. Who has the most reviews with the highest stars? That's how I kind of put this together. So tamales by La Casita.
Yeah. Tamales
Okay.
by La Casita.
La Casita sounds delicious. And then, John, can you just hit us with the number 1?
Adelita's Cocina y Cantina.
Yes, sounds delicious. Now, when you go to get Mexican food, are you guys getting sopapillas for dessert? Do you do dessert normally when you go out to eat?
I have 2 kids. If we're in a particular place where it's like they can handle some sugar after dinner, then yes. In general, no, not much of a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
If someone orders sopapillas, I'll have one. Because they're good. I mean, and they're usually pretty light and airy. So, I'm down with the sopapilla. I'm probably not ordering it on my own, though.
Yeah.
I would agree with you there, John. I usually get so full from whatever meal I just had. I just got done putting pork on the fork.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not really in the mood for something sweet. I'm too full already.
Yeah.
But so Art, you said that it went in order of, you know, the reviews to the ratings. So
Oh,
they all
please
had,
don't do this.
They
Like,
all had 4.6 stars. Shouldn't Tamales by La Casita be in third, based on the numbers here, or am I just reading that wrong?
I mean, like, based on the numbers that the viewers can't see.
It actually should have been in third.
So,
no, thanks, Kev.
Yeah, no, so this is great.
It wouldn't be Happy Friday if I didn't get called out at least once for messing up something.
Yeah, well, and if we're fucking, like, live editing the script as we're doing the show, like, that's just perfect for an audio medium.
Yes.
Like, people love this, where it's like, no, this has 1870 reviews, but it's in third place. But this one has 1841 reviews. I was watching you do that in your head.
You saw it.
Yeah, and I'm like, God damn it, I think he's going to do it.
Yeah.
Don't. Just shut up.
You know me well, John.
Yeah. Just a bit.
And honestly, I love the accountability aspect because I'll own that.
I just was trying to set the record straight here, guys.
No, I put it in the wrong order.
Thank God.
So I'm so
because
sorry.
what we need here
I'm so sorry.
is truth and integrity and
I
journalism.
wouldn't have slept right.
It's news-ish,
Look,
Kev.
look,
It's not
news-ish.
news.
when people are trying to find the best tamales, we have to be held accountable in this pursuit. Okay,
Tamales or sopapillas?
Sopapillas. I'm thinking tamales, even chimichangas. Come on,
What is this show?
A little
God
bit.
damn it! All right, I'm doing the next transition. So every day is the Truman Show, and everyone is insane. Literally, that's the headline I wrote.
Yes.
But it's the headline from the AV Club. The AV Club is kind of a husk of its former self. But this read was great because 25 years ago this week, the Truman Show came out, and that's a movie that I think we've all seen. Like, it's
Great
kind of
movie.
one of those ones that's
Seen it a couple times.
fairly ubiquitous. But Jim Carrey is living inside a TV show where everyone is contriving themselves to ensure that he never finds out it's a TV show. But that movie is a weird commentary on, like, narcissism, on our perceptions of ourselves, where we think we're the main character in every story and we're not. It's also sort of prescient about the unreality we live in, where people go, like, we live in a world of QAnon, where QAnon people are, like, kind of off their rocker, believing a lot of things. If you've ever heard the word adrenochrome, you go, what the fuck are you even talking about? Right? So we live in a world where conspiracy theories run rampant, where we kind of don't always know which end is up, and where people are constantly... Have you ever seen someone recording a TikTok in the middle of a grocery store aisle?
I've seen videos of these people doing that, but I not live action.
Right, and you go, like, I'm embarrassed for you. Like, what are you doing? Like, we're all just trying to live in this world, but everyone's trying to be the star of their own,
The
like,
main
TikTok
character energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
or like walking down the aisles of a plane, like doing a dance.
Yeah, just doing, or like a live blog where it's like you're getting onto a plane. Who gives a shit? You know, like, what is this? So the Truman Show was really, really ahead of its time because in 1998, most of this shit didn't exist. But now you could apply this energy in any number of directions.
So the Truman Show, first of all, a couple takeaways. It's hard to believe it was 25 years ago.
No
I
shit,
remember
right?
seeing this movie in theaters, and I always remember like having this weird fear afterwards, like, am I living in a Truman Show?
Ah, yeah.
You know, like even when it would come down time to do masturbation, you
Oh,
know, you'd be like, is this being aired right now? Like, is this happening?
Well, I used to think my grandparents were watching.
Why would you think that?
Because they see everything. Like, they're like, observing their grandchildren, like, from heaven.
Oh,
And
like
so,
dead
like,
grandparents?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See,
I can see how that came out weird without that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like, find new subject matter for us to cover.
So now you know why I'm so weird.
But holy shit. Okay, so you're worried about ghosts watching you, crank hog.
Well,
Like-
no. So here's the main thing: is this main character energy that is
Yeah.
out there. And here's the thing about existing as a human: is life is extremely complicated, and for
And busy.
every single individual. And here's also, since we're kind of on this, here's the thing about being insecure about anything about yourself is no one fucking cares other than you.
No one cares.
And once you actually realize that, it's like you break chains in life, and then all of a sudden you're like, God, no one actually gives a fuck about what I'm doing other than me.
Yeah. Well, and if they do, like, usually it's in a positive way. It's like, oh, look, you fucking did something, right? Like, that's cool. It's not like people are keeping score like, can you fucking believe what Art did? Like, that is how embarrassing for him, and I feel embarrassed for him. Just
But
watching.
that is the tea, though, and
Yeah.
women love to drink the tea. Like, men and women love to drink the tea.
Like, here's the thing. Most of the time, even if that happens, it's irrelevant, right? Like, it doesn't even fucking matter. And most of the time, unless it's super egregious.
Yeah.
Like, there's this old, like, Scottish joke about, like, I laid every board out there. Do they call me McGonagall the dock builder? No. I laid every stone in this bar. Do they call me McGonagall the bar builder? No. You fuck one goat.
And your nose the goat fuck.
So, yeah, like there's that joke. There's that fear. But, like, ultimately, most of the time, no one's keeping score, which is the point that you're trying to make. Like, no one's fucking keeping score.
Yeah. But I think folks now put so much stock into, like we talked about, doing TikToks, walking into a restaurant, walking down the runway into an airplane, whatever's going on. People love. Don't you give me that look, John?
Just keep going. Just
airplane.
An airplane. That's what it is.
Airplane.
That is technically correct.
Airplane.
It is technically correct.
Airplane.
The best kind of correct, according to Hermes from Futurama.
Yes, coming from the word master himself, Mr. X. Do you feel like you're living in a Truman Show?
No.
That's good.
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, look, I think I need to go back and watch this movie because it's been a while, and it was a good film.
It's sad. It's kind of sad.
It's kind of a sad
melancholy,
ending.
Yeah. But those are some of the best movies because life doesn't always work out, and it's important to be able to feel that and relate to that because, look, we're all going to fail at some point, and we're going to need to learn those hard lessons the hard way. And honestly, in my mind, that's the only right way. So going from Truman Show movies, the last drive-in in the Denver metropolitan area is going to be closing soon.
Yeah, and maybe some folks saw the Truman Show at the 88 up there. It's like 88th in Quebec. I used my old company I used to work for at the warehouse was right next to it, so I was always driving by it. Drive-in theaters are pretty cool, but man, they're going to close it. They're closing it down and put it in a warehouse. It's an industrial area, a lot of warehouses in this area, of course. They are going to go through, the summer and finish out the season like a lot of places are doing before they close. But, I guess drive-in theaters have kind of lost some of the value, that they once had. I mean, it was like a treat. You'd go out, you'd bring your beers, you'd bring your snacks, your girlfriend, whatever.
It reminds me of like 50s pinup type romantic night, something like that.
Drive-in theaters are cool. It's a nostalgic, cool thing, and it's just kind of a bummer. There's still one in Fort Collins, but this will be the last one in the Denver Metro. Did you guys ever have a chance to visit this place?
Not this place. I went to the one in Fort Collins, though. And the last one I saw, it's been a while, but we saw a double feature. It was War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning.
Oh, yeah.
And that double feature was with the Longest Yard remake.
Ooh.
Remember with Adam Sandler and Jamie Foxx and all that? That one, not as good.
Not as good.
The War of the Worlds one, it wasn't really for me either. But, like you said, we were sitting in the back of my girlfriend at the time, now wife's, SUV, just drinking beers, having a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, drive-in theaters are fun, I think, and it's unfortunately it's going to be kind of a lost thing here. Everything's going obsolete, so even movie theaters. We've talked about Regal closing a couple weeks ago, but anytime I think of drive-in theaters, I always remember that scene in Twister, which also the remaking.
They're
remaking Twister.
No,
Twisters.
get out of here.
No, 2024 Twisters.
Get out of here.
It's supposed to be the story of Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt's children carrying on the legacy.
My gosh.
I'm not sure how I feel about it, but where I was going with this
That's
is...
fine. That's fine.
The original Twister, remember they're at the drive-in theater, The Shining's playing, and then they all got to get in the tornado shelter.
Yeah, because like Jack Nicholson's putting the axe through the wall, right as the twist. Right as the it was a great choice, and so like Jan de Bont directed that. Jan de Bont also directed Speed and was the director of photography on Die Hard. Mm-hmm. And so, like, Jan de Bont, like, I think he was an underrated filmmaker, man. Because, like, Twister is pure, like, disposable popcorn fare in the summer, though.
Yeah.
But cool as shit. Like, when you watch it, you go, man, that's, like, fun craft.
It's one of the first movies that got me into meteorology.
Wow.
One of the first that really got me excited about it. But, in any case, the drive-ins, they're gone.
Did humanity ever create, like, those little, Pokeballs that
Dorothy?
they were throwing...
Oh, dude,
that they were throwing into the Twisters.
Don't search online.
Did we ever
because
come
the
up with that
science
shit?
will, like all the nerds out there, like all the people who watch Neil deGrasse Tyson debunk something and get really excited by that, they'll all tell you why that is such a stupid plan. You go, well, fuck off, okay? Like, I get why this isn't practical.
What if we fly a drone in it nowadays with like the same things?
Like
it could work now without sacrificing human life.
The internet is good in many ways. It's
is.
also great at ruining shit, and so just accept that Dorothy was a cool concept in that movie, and then do no further research.
I agree with that. That's a fair way to put that.
Yeah, I can go ahead and accept that. So one place that we talked about a while back, future of Bear Creek Lake. Yep. So there is some discussion out here on whether or not we should raise the levels to have more, water storage. Like, Kev, you put this one in here, man. What's going on?
Yeah, so, it's interesting, Art, because about a year ago, we had some advocates for Bear Creek Lake kind of reach out and wanted to talk to us on Discussion Combustion about it. Didn't come through, but here we are a year later, and this is a topic of discussion again. Out there, it's kind of out, like, just before you get to Morrison, like West Lakewood area. I haven't personally visited this spot, but these guys are kind of, going back and forth on, should we add more water to this area for storage? And then you have a lot of folks that are into recreational activities and wildlife on the trails, doing bicycling, whatever they want to do outdoors. That's going to, compromise that. So it's kind of a 50-50 split on what's going on. We don't know which way it's going to go yet, but that's kind of the debate that's been going on with this Bear Creek Lake.
Look, personally, I feel like substance over recreation. Okay, that's how I feel about it. Like, if we have a way to safely contain more water for the state and provide those kind of resources for the entire population, I mean, like, all the reservoirs end up helping the big picture. So it's not like just one reservoir is going to be, they all connect. And so there's plenty of beautiful places in Colorado. Sure, it might be a little less convenient. So that's how I feel about it. I don't live in that area, so I'm not affected by this personally, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
So one thing I'll say is that there's a line in the West Wing where when you're writing public policy, you're playing with live ammo, right? And so, like, no matter what decision you make, you're trying to do the greatest amount of good for the most amount of people. Someone's going to get hurt. Like, there are very few win-wins when it comes to public policy. And when it comes to something like the future of Bear Creek Lake, I mean, you have to balance the needs. Like, what is going to do the most good for the most people? And that's not always easy, and someone's going to end up pissed off. So, that's all I can say is whatever you do, whatever you care about, get involved, be civically active. That's something we care about here. And so if you care about this, go make your voice heard.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to sum it up, John. Just also kind of piggybacking off to the mayoral election. We saw like a kind of a lower turnout on some of the voters.
Dude, like in the 30s. Like, and you go...
What was the last election?
Similar.
Okay.
A little bit more, but like not in a way that's really meaningful. Where it's like, okay, if it's 32 versus 38, you go, that's still shitty.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you fail a test 32% or 38%, do you really care?
You bombed it.
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like, if the last election was something like 62% or fucking 80% or whatever, okay, then you have a real statement. But when it comes to something like this, where it's like a few points in the 30s, you go, man, like 2/3 of Denver isn't voting in this mayoral election? What the fuck?
It's concerning. It's a little concerning, right? I mean, this is like we talked about in the opening. This is our city. This is our community. Get involved.
Yeah.
And this is another example of it. A lot of people have opinions about it. If you live in this area and you care about Bear Creek Lake, get involved. Make your voice heard. And there's a lot of campaigns out there going, either which way.
100%.
Yeah, get out there, make your voices heard. One woman from the Denver area really did make her voice heard in a positive way out of something negative. Carrie Cotterman, she was 39 years old when she had received some devastating news that she actually had stage 2 breast cancer in her right breast. And through this, she was working for a tech company at the time and doing so many things to try to promote, and all of a sudden is losing her hair. And so there's all these different questions that come up and thoughts that go through your head. Where can I find the support while going through chemo and doing all these other things? So what she ended up doing, and it's great to highlight when people do something that's selfless to help others, especially through hard times, right? Is she created a nonprofit website, and she also has an Instagram as well that you could follow her at. If you go down to the show notes, click the link. Those are in the article, so you can check out all of her stuff. But what I really like about what she's doing here is trying to give people a simple answer to complicated questions. And really what her nonprofit and website and Instagram are about is creating this mindset of overcoming a difficult thing. And I in my family, we've had to deal with cancer, people overcoming that. It touches all the families across the United States. So just kind of wanted to highlight her work here. I didn't necessarily have any questions for either of you, but kind of open it up for conversation a little bit. Like, what is this kind of act mean to y'all?
Dude, I think it's phenomenal. Anytime anyone like sees something or experiences something and says, hey, there's a gap here, right? And let's do something positive and something additive and something to where if I don't have to experience this, or if someone else doesn't have to experience it the way that I did, like, then we're doing good work here. Like, let's take whatever I've experienced and go, let's do better the next time. Man, that you're doing the best work that you can. That's great.
Yeah, I agree with you, John, 100%. I mean, people that go through these kind of things, it's like I talked about in one of my random records last week or the week before about the cancer survivor from Lebanon that was doing standing on nails for like the world record, just bringing awareness to stuff. When you've been through something so amazing like that and overcoming something so critical, to create organizations, bring awareness to it, bring people together, I think it's great. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I love the positive energy there and doing something selfless. And that just leads me into the next segment here, which is a raw thought. Sometimes when I'm reading all these articles, there's so much negative media out there and all this negative stuff. So sometimes I just want to have a little bit of positive reinforcement.
Because we do a shitload of prep on this show.
We do.
We comb through a lot of stuff and we grade 10 things. And we're like, okay, you know what? Like, here's what we're going to talk about on this show. Here's what we're going to try and bring to Denver that we think we have some value to add. Because, like, I mean, everyone's got a fire hose of shit just blasted at them. Like, spend some time with us. We try and curate stuff that we find interesting, that we think you'll find interesting, and we have a unique take on. So I'm with you 100%, but it does lead to some thoughts.
Yeah, and we're fortunate to have the wherewithal to stick with it and show up every single week and create a platform for us to express opinions that mean something to us. And so this means something to me, and it's just a quick reminder to believe in yourself and take risks and give it your all. And quickly, just what I think about that. And John, you've alluded to this in the past. I've always spoke very vague, so I wanted to get a little bit more specific on this example here. So. When I was really making stupid decisions, I wrecked my credit. And so I was like in the 450s over about a little over 2 years. I've really turned that around. I'm almost back to the 700s. I had cars repoed. All the stuff was really going bad for me. And really what that took in order to make that change was a dedication, a daily dedication, which is difficult because we get complacent. A lot of times we're not thinking about what we're actually doing, what we're trying to achieve in life. We're just going with the motion. And sometimes the motion is something that's extremely counterproductive and yields negative results in our lives. And that's what happened to me. And it took years of doing it every single day, doing the right thing, trying to choose the right thing. And really, some of my main thoughts on this is fuck what anybody else thinks. We kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier as far as, insecurities. You're the only one that's insecure about this. So fuck what everybody else thinks. Really do what you want to do. It's like putting up this billboard. Fuck what everybody else thinks. We're putting up deer and this silly billboard. And so I just want everybody out there to stick with it regardless of what it is. However you're struggling, you should struggle to succeed, and we all do in different ways. Like, so the whole credit thing, that took years, but I had to make that choice and see it through daily in order to see results. Just like John, you're saying that you're on this weight loss journey right now, and like you're seeing slow results come in, but it's because you're dedicated daily. And so that's what I wanted to speak of, and I would love to hear the two of your thoughts on that.
Well, Art, the big thing for me is discipline is greater than motivation, right? Because motivation isn't always there, but you can always lean on discipline. If you ingrain good habits, you can get to the place where even if you're not motivated, you go, ugh, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like having my workout. I don't feel like eating healthy, whatever, right? But if you have the discipline and the habits built in, you can get there. And so that's exactly what you're talking about. Over the last couple of years, doing it daily, even when no one's watching, even when you go, man, I could cut a corner here and no one would know except me, that's where real change happens. So
that's true.
I'm with you. So discipline greater than motivation.
Yeah, I agree with that, guys, for sure. I mean, repetition is the mother of skill. Whatever you're working towards, whatever fitness goals or whatever you're trying to do in life, repetition is the mother of skill. The more energy you put in, the more you get out, right? I've talked about on DCP so many times that a lot of folks will do more to avoid pain than they will to gain pleasure, and that's just a natural complacency, right? Sometimes we've talked about you got to get a little bit uncomfortable, you got to take chances, you got to roll the dice and put up a billboard on Broadway and see what happens.
That's right.
Yeah, and when you feel like, when you start questioning it too, right? that's when you know you're on the right path. And John, you gave the same advice to clients recently. When you really start questioning what you're doing, you're on the right path. And so,
well, to be more precise, basically, if you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable with a big decision that you're going to make, lean into that. You're probably going in the right direction.
Yeah, and look, even if you do fail on that attempt, that's where you're going to learn the biggest lesson is within failure. Like, we can't succeed all the time, and through understanding each other and understanding ourselves, like we can really make a big impact in this world and this life. And so I just want to take this quick moment to thank both Kev, of course, and John. I haven't always agreed with the two of you, and sometimes we've had conversations that could be a little uncomfortable, but through that we've earned each other's respect, and we continue to press forward and slap big, ridiculous, stupid billboards up on Broadway. So
do our best.
It's a journey, and that's what life is meant to be. So honored to be able to share the stage with the two of you and really make something that is bigger than us, because we want to bring fun into a Friday. We want to start the weekend off right, and that's what we do here.
And here's how we end it, right? We talk about cool shit to do, right? So first thing, I'm headed to 2 concerts here coming up. Saturday at the Gothic Theater, I'm seeing Save Ferris and 5 Iron Frenzy with 2 amazing local bands, Sorry Sweetheart and Younger Than Neil. I've seen I've never seen, I've seen Younger Than Neil, and I've seen Sorry Sweetheart, but I have not seen the headliners. 2 amazing local bands. And then on Monday, I'm seeing Thrice at the Gothic. They are playing Through the Artist in the Ambulance, one of my all-time favorite albums. And additionally, that night would be Game 5 of the Nuggets. So the Nuggets play Friday tonight. They're playing Game 4. Game 5 would be Monday back in Denver. And if the Nuggets are successful tonight, holy shit, Game 5 could be the clinching game. I'm a little torn.
Let's go Nuggets.
Let's go Nuggets. I do want to see them succeed. So much awesome energy.
I would love it if they were playing any night when I wasn't at a concert already. Like, that I'm really super jazzed to see, because that's making my decision tough. I'm not wishing a loss on the Nuggets. No way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want them to win in 5.
They're gonna.
I want my decision to be tough.
It's gonna happen, and it's gonna come back to Denver.
That's right.
And you know that we're gonna be seeing some amazing Nuggets artwork out on the chalk. People doing the artwork with chalk. So Denver Chalk Art Festival is happening this weekend in the Golden Triangle Creative District. I bet you there's so many fun things that people are already thinking about putting out there. And it would just be cool. Like, I'm a big walker. I like to walk daily. It's good for cardio. It's good for mental health. And it also helps me lose weight. So check so many boxes. I would like to get out and walk around there after everyone does this.
I took my kids and my dog last year, man, and it was great. Like, my wife, my kids, my dog, we were all there. It was hot last year.
Yeah.
It's been rainy so far, but so I'm hoping it doesn't rain, because then the Chalk Art Festival is fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Not happy. Yeah, it wouldn't happen if it's
Yeah, it's all just Jackson Pollock at that point.
Yeah, so we just got to get it in before these afternoon thunder boomers, John. Because we got these storms rolling in every afternoon. We're kind of in that pattern right now. Hopefully that's going to break.
It's usually August.
Yeah, that's true.
But whatever, man.
That's true. Well, once you're done drawing chalk on the concrete, you head down to the 5 Points Jazz Festival. Listen to some great music down there. It's Saturday from 11:30 to 2:30, so get on down there tomorrow. Listen to some tremendous music, man. Jazz is so much fun, so much soul, tremendous musicians. Just a good time, good vibes.
So good. I mean, a saxophone, that's sexy. And you know what else is sexy? Is Kevin's silky smooth radio voice, and also my man John's linguistic capabilities. So much hot fire coming out of this Happy Friday podcast. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. If you want to interact with us a little bit, all social medias, Happy Friday Den, D-E-N, Happy Friday Den on all social medias, or you could send us an old school email, happyfridaydenver@gmail.com. You already know Mile High Life is the local Denver podcast network. If you are anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world, you will enjoy your time listening to all the awesome podcasts on Mile High Life. Freaking do bring us in and out, and baby, we're going to let it rock. Let's go. Happy Friday, Denver.